One Question is brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996. From Carbondale, Illinois, Southern Illinois Athletic Director Tommy Bell is the guest today on One Question. And Tommy, you have an interesting situation with two of your head coaches, and is where I want to start this conversation. For men's basketball, Barry Henson, as many people know, has been around the industry for a number of years, had a bunch of success at Missouri State for a long stretch. He was at Kansas with Bill Self, and now has been with you for the last couple seasons. So highly experienced. At the other end of the experience spectrum, you've got Nick Hill, your football head coach, who just went through his very first season. A lot of close games for Nick that didn't turn out in your all's favor. But I'm curious to ask about you interfacing with two head coaches like Barry and Nick who have different bodies of work, if you will, just given their experience in this industry, and how you are hands-on with them in different ways.
Yeah, well, there's about 25-year experience age difference between the two coaches, but they're both very similar because, all head coaches they all have a drive and a desire to win. Coach Henson has tremendous administrative experience, so I can be very hands-off in that regard. Whereas Coach Hill is in his first year as a head coach, he's experiencing many things for the first time. So I can be a good sounding board for him on matters such as budget, staffing, roster management, and just some of the details of being at an Illinois State institution. Where some things that he might not understand as a first-time head coach, and then I take a real hands-on approach in scheduling, especially in basketball because of the Missouri Valley Conference and the things that we're doing there. But having that hands-on approach really lets me work with Coach Henson really closely on what we want to do because we're trying to build our schedule. Because we want to make the NCAA tournament. We won 22 games in men's basketball last year, but we were really in a rebuild mode. And so now we stepped it up this year, and we've strengthened our schedule significantly, and we feel like it's going to pay off, but now we just have to work the process. And then on the football side, I oversee the non-conference scheduling, and then I just interact with Nick on that, but I handle all the football scheduling so that coach doesn't have to handle it. Where, in basketball, coaches tend to be really involved in their scheduling.
As an athletic director, have you said to either Barry or Nick, and really regardless of those two specifically, it could be any head coach in your portfolio, hey, you should go talk to insert the name of a peer. You've said this to one head. You should go talk to Barry about how he handles that situation. Or is it just really collaborative in your department in the first place?
Well, I think some of that collaboration's been taking place because, that helps generate the synergy. And we've got a lot of experienced coaches, and we have some young coaches. And they naturally gravitate between some coaches, and they ask their advice, and they ask, okay, how did you handle this situation, and what's going on here? And we know they have those discussions, and we have that. And by having that difference, it does make a difference for coaches because I'm a big advocate of people having, more than just one or two mentors. You need to have two or three and a place where you can gain knowledge and information.
And that's today's One Question, brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996. One Question is designed to give D1 Ticker subscribers valuable insights on how executive leaders in college athletics think about key issues on their respective campuses, in their departments, or within their leagues and conferences. One Question is brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996.